It's a giant Nintendo news week. Pikmin 4 releases this Friday. We have every single bit of news from pre-order bonuses to new products to updates to get you ready for the game. The Nintendo Switch 2 is still in the talks. There's a problem with that and I'll discuss it all. There's Pokemon news, Splatoon news, changes to the future of Nintendo's handheld systems. Let's break it all down. Nintendo fans are in attendance. The Mario Matter fans are in attendance. We have everybody gathered here today to discuss Nintendo news. Welcome back to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo news podcast, episode number 47, where we dive into every single bit of news. And if you'll take a look at me, audio-only listeners hate me right now. I am wearing a red Pikmin jacket. Guess what? It is Pikmin week. It is Wednesday as of posting. Pikmin 4, the game that we've waited over 10 years for, is releasing this Friday, July 21st. Get your Switches ready. Get your wallets ready. Get everything ready. Go and buy a prepaid eShop Pikmin 4 gift card. It's going down. Anyways, so much news here. The big topic is Pikmin 4. I want to talk about some Switch 2 stuff because you guys seem to love that. We have so much Pokemon news. We have, really everything from Splatoon to random pre-order bonuses to just a lot of stuff. But I would put some emphasis on Pokemon stuff for today. There is a lot of it. And before we begin, guys, one last bit of housekeeping here. During the introduction of the podcast, I will say, this is the latest podcast we've ever done. It is 12:51 a.m. Yes, I'm listening to Dirty Soda by Juice WRLD and Polo G. It's 12:51 a.m. Did I say p.m.? I meant a.m. That kind of shows the time. I can't even get it right. I did something earlier, like right when I ended my stream. If you didn't know, I did a live stream today. What do you say yesterday? July 17th. And I went to go sit down and I felt like a cut in my throat for some reason, like a throat injury. And so I'm like, okay, if I lose my voice tomorrow, I'm going to not like myself to the next day if I didn't record this when I had a voice to record it with. Because I'm not going to come on here going like, hi guys, it's me, I lost my voice. I'm not doing that, right? So I'm here while I can. If I lose my voice, when I edit this, I'll put it on screen. If you see nothing on screen, I didn't lose my voice. I might still leave a note there like, hey guys, I didn't lose it. I probably won't, but you can't be too safe. Anyways, Pikmin jacket will stay on for the stream, for the podcast, as long as I'm not way too hot. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into what you want to hear about the big boy Nintendo news. Let's go. But yeah, we are not taking our foot off the energy gas pedal. Although it's 12:51, probably 12:52 right now, and maybe I'm gonna wake up everyone in the house here. Who really cares? So now we are on the headline segment. Now this is where we dive into all of the Nintendo news. So we have this segment right here where we're diving into updates for games and some mini things. Then we have two segments later on, one deep diving into Pikmin, and then the other deep diving into Switch 2 talk, and then we have one more segment at the end of all of that, where I answer your questions that you have asked me on YouTube and Discord. So, with that said, let's get to our headline segment. So we go through the news from the past 7 days. As of posting, it is July 19th, so July 19th minus 7 is July 12th. These headphones are very, very itchy. Let's do a little readjustment there. Anyways, guys, July 12th news. Can you guess what it is? You probably can't. I didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. It's just a very, very weird piece of news on July 12th. We have one little piece, and guess what game got an update? I'll give you a hint. It's a very small update, and it was updated to version 1.0.2, so that means it barely gets any updates. Can you guess what it is? I don't know that you can, but it is Game Builder Garage, the technical Mario Maker, where you make your game and you program it up. I actually own this game. I got it for Christmas, I believe, 2 years ago, and I'll be honest, haven't really even touched it. So it's just not my game, but I was like, I'm a collector. Not really, but kind of. So I'm gonna keep it. So I do still have Game Builder Garage. But it's been updated. And can you guess what the update is? As I said, it is very, very minimal. Here is what was changed. Quote, several issues have been addressed to improve the gameplay experience. Now, sometimes when updates say that, we can get further info from a Twitter leaker who will dive into this kind of stuff. No one's diving into Game Builder Garage. Like, we don't know what the heck changed. It's safe to assume maybe some online features were patched up, if there is online. Is there even online? I haven't played it. I don't know. But that sometimes is what they like to mess around with when they do these, like, no info updates. They sometimes like to touch around with online stuff. Could be just some general bugs that they've been meaning to fix for a while. I mean, it could be so many different things in terms of what the heck they fixed, but they fixed something. It's always good news. And yeah, that is Game Builder Garage version 1.0.2 for you. So comment down below, or respond to the Spotify Q&A however you can. Let me know. Do you own Game Builder Garage? Because it's not the best-selling Switch game, like, of all time, obviously. And I have not heard its name be spoken in, like, the last year or so. Apart from now, honestly, like, it's pretty, I'll say, it was hyped up, and then it kind of, like, went down and down and never back up again. But it's out there. Then, guys, July 13th. I'll be honest with you. July 13th was a hard day for news. I have searched and I have scrubbed. There was one piece of news for July 13th, but guess what? It's Pikmin news, so we moved it to the next segment later on in the podcast. So we'll get to that. It's pretty big news. I wouldn't say big. It's pretty good, cool looking news. So I'll get to that once we get to the Pikmin segment. But what's after July 13th? Well, of course, July 13th and a half, which would be July 14th. So, July 14th news, guys. What the heck was going down that day? Well, we actually have so much news that happened on July 14th that it makes up for July 13th. So, let's go ahead. Let's jump in. Beginning with some Splatoon news here, we have, Splatoon 3 Switch Online icons. Wave number 3 is available now until July 21st, which is the day Pikmin 4 comes out this Friday. Go and pre-order that great game. Anyways, so there have been many Splatoon 3 icons for Switch Online, but these are the cartoon-styled icons that have been available for the past few weeks. Wave 3 is now out. You can go and get them, and they will once again be gone this Friday. I like a lot of these ones. I actually went and bought, I think, nearly all of the Wave 2 cartoon icons for Splatoon 3. For this one, out of the ones that they show in this promo picture, I'm probably gonna buy them all again. Like, it's so cool. Like they're all holding weapons. They're cartoony. One's got the bow. I mean, it's sick. Now, they're only 10 platinum points each for each individual icon. Backgrounds and frames and that kind of stuff will cost you 5 platinum points each. It's very, very affordable if you have Switch Online. I just don't really understand why you wouldn't do it unless you, I guess, don't have Switch Online. So, Wave 3 is out. Check it out. It's looking good. And it's, I would say, some of my more favorite Switch Online icons that are out there. My favorites by far are the Animal Crossing ones, but this is a pretty close second. Splatoon 3 icons are great. Pikmin icons are very, very good as well. So check them all out. Very good. Then we have another piece of Splatoon news that you honestly might have been waiting for ever since the game was officially revealed in terms of, like, the entire characters and everything. Not announced, but, like, revealed in the Splatoon Direct that took place last year. You might have been hoping for some news like this, and my friends, we have got it for you. This Pikmin jacket is getting hot. We might have to remove it soon. I'm going to try to keep it on, though, because it is Pikmin week. Anyways, guys, Splatoon 3, the Deep Cut crew. That is Shiver, that is Fry, that is Big Man. The 3 hosts, the Deep Cut, are getting plushies. Now, there's a catch. They're Japan exclusive. But the thing is, just because they're Japan exclusive does not mean that you cannot get your hands on them. I mean, they release in October 2023 on Amazon Japan for about $24 each, which I will say is not that bad. $24 each. A $24 Big Man plush. Not bad. Now, I don't know if these will be on, like, Play Asia, which is a good site to buy Japanese exclusive items off of. It might be. But Amazon Japan is all we know right now this October. So if you have a way of getting items from Amazon Japan over to wherever you are, whether it be Australia, the UK, the US, wherever you are, if you've got a go-to method, there you go. But finally, these are coming out. I've been waiting for some Big Man plush. Like, you always see these new characters get announced, like Big Man, even Ochi as one of them. And you're like, okay, that's cool and all. Where's the plush? And there's the plush right there. October, $24 plus shipping, whatever that will come out to. It does depend on whatever service you use to get the item out of Japan and get it to whichever country you are in. That's assuming that you're not in Japan. If you are in Japan, you have the hookup right there. You have the plush literally within hours of you. But if you're like me, I live in the US, so I wouldn't be able to get that without paying a decent amount of shipping. I don't think it'll be crazy, but I don't think it'll be like $4. So check it out if you are interested. I'll leave the links to info down below if you want to look. Then, guys, we have a burst of Pokemon news. Pokemon fans, you're in luck. We have 4 straight pieces of Pokemon news. If you're not a Pokemon fan, which is going to be really hard to believe, feel free. There are chapters in this podcast, whether you're on Spotify, wherever. Look in the description, or you can scroll on the timeline if your podcast platform supports it, like Spotify does, YouTube does. You can skip and view all the chapters in the podcast. But right now, if you're watching the live premiere on YouTube, you can't do that. But, otherwise, if you're watching after the fact, you can do that. So, anyways, Pokemon news. Let's start with the biggest one. There's a fly flying around. Let's start with the biggest one here. Guys, there is a rumor out there for Pokemon Black and White. Pokemon Black and White might be getting, I wouldn't say remade, but the next Pokemon game is gonna have potentially ties to Pokemon Black and White. What do I mean? So, there are, as there are Nintendo leakers, there are, of course, going to be Pokemon leakers. Who are these Pokemon leakers and speculators and tweeters? Well, that would be Riddler Q is one of them, and Central Leaks. These two users have tweeted and hinted and speculated that the next Pokemon games will have some sort of tie to Pokemon Black and White, whether that be, I'm doubting a remake, but it'll be in some way connected. And that's really, really cool, because if you've not played Pokemon Black and White, I think some of the greatest Pokemon games, one of the greatest, Pokemon games, I think it's really, really good. And to have them bring it back in some way, whether it be a remake, which I don't expect, but just some sort of connection to that game, is going to be very cool. And we even have more news later on in the podcast talking about games coming back and reboots and remakes. It's good stuff. So, that is out there. Now, Riddler Q, you might think, who are these leakers? Riddler Q has leaked info about Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news in the past that ended up being true. So with a record like that, we can probably trust them, as those are the 2 recent Pokemon games. You can obviously trust someone who is leaking recent info and getting it right. So it'd be safe to assume that the next game will have ties to Black and White. We got to see, though. That's going to be a little bit far away. But yeah, we should have something next year, and I would not mind it if it was Black and White related. So that's cool. And then we even have another piece of news. This one is one that you might know, but it's also big news if you didn't know, and it's just big news in general. The Pokemon Go Plus accessory is available now in North America and Japan. Other regions, I am not sure, but that is what the official headline reads here. Now, what is this accessory, you might ask? What the heck could this be? What does it do? Why do I need it? And why do I want to pay $55 for it? Well, I'll tell you why. This accessory can be used with Pokemon Go and the upcoming, if not already available now, Pokemon Sleep app on your smart device. Now, with Pokemon Go, this is very, very useful. It can auto-catch Pokemon. It can auto-spin Pokestops. It can do a lot with the click of a button. it essentially makes it so that you do not have to use your smart device, whether it be an iPad or an iPhone, to catch Pokemon and essentially play the game. It's much more convenient. And then with Pokemon Sleep, what I'm hearing is that you can essentially use that. I'm using the word essentially a lot. You can essentially use that instead of your phone. So with Pokemon Sleep, which I'll get into later on, Pokemon Sleep, you put your phone on the bed and it tracks your sleep. Now that app, once again, I'll get into it, but it's available in some regions right now. You put the phone on your bed while you sleep and it tracks your sleep. I believe you can replace your phone with the Pokemon Go Plus accessory, and you put that on the bed, and then it tracks your sleep. So I wouldn't be a big fan of having my phone on my bed while I'm sleeping, because, you know, vibrations and calls could wake me up. So with a Pokemon Go Plus on the bed, that's a lot more comfortable, and if that can track my sleep, I'm all for it. Now, once again, I said it already, it is $55, $54.99. Do I think it's worth it? I don't have it, but in terms of how it sounds, value in that kind of sense, I would say, as per most things, it is going to depend on how much you use an app like Pokemon Go, or how much you use an app like Pokemon Sleep. If you're using Pokemon Sleep every night and you don't want to have your phone on your bed, sure, I'm sure it's worth it. If you play Pokemon Go, I play Pokemon Go every day. Like, if you play every day, like, this thing has got to be right for you. But if you're like me, you know, Joe Schmo, that doesn't play Pokemon Go hardly ever, I wouldn't buy it, but it's totally up to you. $55 is about the price of a Switch game, $5 less. So therefore, it's not a ridiculous amount of money if you do want it, but I would just say it depends how much you're going to use it. With that, you might have already known that, but that is what it does. We have 2 more pieces of Pokemon news before we can speed on, and then we even have a bit more Pokemon later on. We have this, guys. If you use the social media app Line, where you can message people internationally, all the kind of cool stuff, right? Line has a brand new Pokemon Seasons Mint theme to use as a background on the Line app. So, you know, if you're just messaging your friends on the Line app, you know, it's a boring white background there. You know, you don't always want that. It's just boring. It's basic. It's nothing really cool. Guess what? You can spice up your Line background for the low price of $2.99. Do not forget the 99 cents. $1 more than 3DS themes used to cost, if you really must know. So, are you being scammed? You're being scammed out of $1. You could have had a 3DS theme for $1.99. No, you have to pay $2.99 for this one. Anyways, it does look very cool. It's very bright, very, very summery. If I was Pokemon obsessed, like kind of how I am Animal Crossing obsessed, I'd probably buy it. But, you know, $3 a theme that you're going to look at and not notice after a week could be worth it, but up to you. And that's even if you do use Line. I feel like Line is more popular in, like, Japan and other regions. No one that I know uses Line. Like, none of my American friends use Line. So, up to you, really, there. I can feel my voice going, thank gosh I'm doing this podcast. You know, I'm doing it Monday night, Tuesday morning, essentially, because it's midnight. I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to have a voice. And if I do, then good fun, but I can feel it going. All right, guys, then we have the last piece of Pokemon news. For now, we have a bit more later, but for now, we have a Japan Pokemon and Baskin Robbins collaboration announced. Now, recently, we got a Splatoon and Baskin Robbins collaboration announced, where they're making ice cream, they're making ice cream cake. It's tons of cool stuff. Here we have special ice cream. It is competing with the whole Splatoon thing. I'm kidding, but Pokemon ice cream is hit in Japan. We have a special ice cream flavor based on Pikachu and Sprigatito. That sounds like it would taste pretty good. Well, I don't know. It either tastes like banana or like green tea. or like, banana tea. Like it doesn't sound amazing, but it certainly doesn't sound awful either. Like I might want to try that, But unfortunately, I'm not in Baskin Robbins, Japan. So how could I do that? Now, if you get the ice cream, you can get some Pokemon-themed cups. And if you get these Pokemon-themed cups to put your ice cream in, you will actually be given a free random Pokemon sticker. No clue what it is. Maybe it's a Pikachu. Maybe it's a Sprigatito. Whatever it may be. You can't go wrong with a free Pokemon sticker with your ice cream on a hot summer day. I wish they did more collabs like this in the US. We saw them collab with like some juice bar. I believe it was last month. We saw them collab last summer with Cold Stone with ice cream. That didn't go well for me. I had a terrible experience as they messed it up. And I wish that they would do more in the US. It seems to be a lot in Japan, and obviously, they have a great big fan base and tons of fans in Japan. But, I would like to see it spread out, and not only in the US because I'm in the US. Give it to Australia, give it to the UK. I'm like pausing randomly because I'm like kind of tired-ish, but, give it to Australia, UK, everywhere else, Canada. Get it out there in the world, international, get it everywhere. That's my thoughts on that. That will last from July 21st, so this Friday is when it'll all begin. Go away, Fly. No, you don't want to hear the news. You don't care. It'll start on July 21st, and it'll end on August 31st. So essentially, all summer long. So if you're visiting Japan in the summer, I wouldn't really rule out this Baskin Robbins collaboration as part of your bucket list. It's a very, very cool thing to do. Let me know how the Sprigatito Pikachu ice cream tastes. I want to know if you're going. The small chance that someone watching this or listening is going, please let me know. Apart from that, we have one more piece of news for July 14th before we move to July 15th. Toad. I bet you did not expect me to say Toad. Toad, out of all people, is making his debut at Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood. So the Super Nintendo World in California, the only one in the US as of right now that is open. They're obviously building one in Orlando. I want to go there. But Toad, the mascot, you've seen videos of him dancing online at Super Nintendo World, but he's never actually been to the California Hollywood Studios Super Nintendo World. Well, guess what, guys? As of July 14th, he was announced to be coming to Super Nintendo World. Now, he was announced to be coming. When does he actually come? Well, that's going to happen July 15th. And when was July 15th? That was days ago as of this podcast coming out. So, Toad is now at Super Nintendo World Hollywood Studios, California. That's a real cool thing. He is no stranger to Japan, and now becoming no stranger to the Californians. Is that what you call them? Californians, California residents? Any of the above will probably work to describe residents living in California. I would think any of those, but anyways, Toad is there. He's dancing around. He's doing the meet and greets. He's waving. He's taking pictures. He's doing videos with people. All of it. I'm sure if you search Toad Super Nintendo World on YouTube or Twitter, I'm sure something funny is going to pop up. He's there. He's making it poppin'. I need to go very soon. I'm going to go to the Orlando one eventually, but I cannot even wait. All right. Then, guys, moving on to July 15th. What happened on such a day like July 15th? Well, guess what, guys? We have two pieces of news here. One that you might not care about because it's kind of like a scam. I wouldn't say a scam. It's a little pricey. And the next thing is also really, really cool. So, let's start with the pricey thing. We have a Metroid Dread E.M.M.I. E.M.M.I. or E.M.M.I. Figma figure available for pre-order. So what this is it's essentially an E.M.M.I. or E.M.M.I. figure from Metroid Dread. It's a figure available for pre-order. Now, it's 8.5 inches tall or 215 millimeters tall, And when you convert that, you get 8.5. And guess how much the figure costs? It is 120 bucks for this figure. I do not know the quality of the figure or why it's so expensive, but that's how much it'll cost. And it says on the listing that it's 8.5 inches tall. I feel like for a figure to cost 120 bucks, it would have to be a whole lot more expensive, obviously, because like 120 bucks should probably get you like, I mean, I would say a 30-inch figure. No, I mean, maybe that's kind of crazy. Like a 30, yeah. I'd say 30. That's expensive, you know? I'd say somewhere around there, maybe even a bit more. But yeah, maybe it's high quality, you know, designer brand figures, whatever it may be. I will have to break it to you. I am going to be taking off this Pikmin 4 jacket. You know, it's been a great run. By the way, I didn't mention it is Japan exclusive, so that's also pretty cool. My brother and mother got it for me. And anyways, back to the news while I take it off. 120 bucks. I mean, yeah, once again, it's just pricey. I just don't really know who in the right mind would buy it. I mean, maybe if you're some massive Metroid fan, you know, I can't really blame you here. If it was Animal Crossing, you know, I would do the exact same thing. So up to you with that purchase there. I just think it's a little bit expensive for what you're actually getting. Anyways, apart from that, though, for those who are not even interested in spending 120 bucks, for those who do not even have 120 bucks, we have you covered here on the Mario Matter. We have a free Nintendo Summer Magazine available digitally in English. So you might have seen this magazine making the rounds on the Twitters, on the Nintendo news, so to speak. This is a magazine made by Nintendo, and it was pretty much a Japan thing that we couldn't read. It's like, you know, it looks cool. The cover art has Link eating a watermelon. It looks sick, but it's in Japanese. And if I Google Translate that, you know, Google Translate isn't always correct. It'll get you, you know, kind of an idea of what is being said, but never the full picture, so you can't really trust Google Translate. Well, guys, guess what? This magazine is available digitally, as I have said, in English now. So if you want to read this 54-page magazine full of info and fun on pretty much everything Nintendo and their newest games and everything about this summer, the link is down below. If you want to look at all the links in the podcast, there is one link that is called the Sources and Links link. Go there, and then you'll be able to see all the links mentioned in the podcast. This will be one of them. It has info on Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Splatoon 3, and so much more. That somehow rhymed. The more and 4 part. I mean, that was brilliant work. With that, though, link down below. Check it out. It's cool stuff. I actually kind of skimmed through it. I didn't read through it. And I liked what I saw. It was a cool little magazine. And ever since the discontinuation of Nintendo Power, which was their old magazine, it's cool to see something like that come back. So, July 16th news. That's not too long ago. It is July 19th as of posting the podcast. Pokemon Sleep. So, I told you that we'd get back to this topic here. Pokemon Sleep is currently releasing in several regions. Now, if you're in the US, the UK, I'm so sorry. It ain't there yet as of recording the podcast. Maybe it's there. Maybe it just released on July 19th. Whenever Pokemon Sleep releases in all regions, I'll put a download link in the Sources and Links paste bin in the description. As of recording, though, July 18th, 1:19 a.m., it is not available in America or the UK. Now, where is it available? Because I'm sure not everyone listening is from the America or UK. It's just my main demographic. Well, it is available for our people in Australia. It's available there. For the people in Canada, available there. Latin America and New Zealand for iOS and Android. So you guys are eating good or sleeping good, you know, sleeping good. Pokemon Sleep is available there. Go and download it and sleep your very best, I believe is like their slogan. Sleep or no, rest your best. Rest your very no, it's just one very. Rest your best is the slogan for Pokemon Sleep. I would try it out. Maybe you won't like it, maybe you will. But I am going to try it the first night that it comes out, and I'm going to come back on here. Hopefully I use it within the next week. I'm going to come back on here if I use it, and I'm going to let you know how it is. And if I, next time that I ask, for you to ask me questions for the podcast, somebody asked me, what did you think of Pokemon Sleep? Somebody asked me that. Someone asked me that so then I do not forget. What did you think of Pokemon Sleep? Write that down. All right. Ask me that and I'll tell you. But it is available for our friends in those select countries and regions, and, some of those aren't countries. But Pokemon Sleep. I need some sleep. Pokemon Sleep would be telling me right now, turn off the podcast, go to bed. Yeah, it's not looking good. Anyways, SEGA, guys, SEGA. When did you think you would hear about SEGA in a Nintendo news podcast? Not very often. Anyways, because you could be a SEGA fan and also a Nintendo fan, I figured we'd bring you the news. We're not gonna gatekeep SEGA news, which is still somewhat related to the Switch itself. I'm not gonna gatekeep that from you. We have the SEGA Executive Vice President Yukio Sugino commenting on SEGA considering remaking old Sonic games. So games like, maybe for example, Sonic and the Secret Rings, is that what it's called? That better be what it's called. Sonic, the Black Knight is, I'm forgetting the names. Sonic Riders, any of these games, they are considering remaking some Sonic games. And we have a quote from the executive vice president himself. Here's the quote from Yukio Sugino. I hate to mess that up. Quote, "Of course, we have to do new things, but as well with all IPs, we don't have new works or reboots. We will develop while selecting which is appropriate at this timing for each IP, such as, this is the best way to do this IP. Sonic is also Sega's signature IP, and in parallel with the new game, we are considering reboots and remakes." And that is what Yukio Sugino had to say about remakes, reboots, old Sonic games coming back. I mean, they're certainly a fan of it. They did Sonic Colors Ultimate for the Switch, Xbox, PS4, all that. They did that game, and that's honestly a very good sign, because if they're remastering a game, kind of remastering it. It's not so much of a, it's not of a remake. It's a remaster, kind of, because it's not redone. If they're doing that, I don't doubt that they would do any other Sonic game. A game like Sonic and the Secret Rings. I want that one, but I would like it. I think it's a very, very good idea. And I would buy some remastered Sonic stuff, especially like Sonic Wii era, Sonic Riders and all that, please. All right, next, July 17th. This is our last day of news before we get to our big Pikmin 4 segment. It's a bit less news during the headline segment because most of it is being moved over to the Pikmin segment. So, yeah, whenever a brand new game releases that is like a pretty big deal, I try to have a full segment dedicated to it, which is what, we're doing for Pikmin. And so that'll be fun. July 17th. This news broke and is, I think, the biggest news on the podcast that is not one of our two segments. This is the biggest news here. The Council of the European Union, the EU, is requiring all handheld gaming consoles to use replaceable batteries by 2027, meaning the next Switch or whatever the successor is, and the Steam Deck and any other handheld gaming system is going to have easily replaceable batteries. The 3DS, you can unscrew the things and replace the battery. You can do that, but it needs to be easy replaceable, like the Game Boy Color kind of thing. It needs that. by 2027. Now, I'm not sure that that would be AA batteries or if they'll make their own batteries. Either way, I will say I am on board. And this is not some rumor that they or some fake requirement. Like this is a real thing. The next Switch and Steam Deck are gonna have replaceable batteries, or else they ain't happening. I'll tell you that much. It's kind of that's short. It's not gonna be happening. So I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of that because while Nintendo may not like it, I do. It's so easy. Like when your Switch dies nowadays, it's like, what are you gonna do? It's dead. Go find a charger. With replacement batteries, just keep them on you. Pop them in. Whatever it may be. Whether it's a special Switch battery pack, whether it's AA batteries, AAA battery, whatever it is. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. So, ditch your battery packs. Ditch your USB-C cables, guys. We have batteries now. We have replaceable batteries next time. And I wouldn't doubt that, Nintendo already knew about this and they're like working towards it right now. I think it'll be very convenient. It'll be very, very good. And I'm sure that they're working hard at making that now work for whatever their next system is. Assuming it is a hybrid system. I'll touch more on the Switch 2 later on. I've been talking about Switch 2 for the last few podcasts, and I apologize. But one, I think that you guys like it. Two, there's so many thoughts on it, and it's different each week. Like last time it was rumors, the time before that it was dev kits. Now I want to talk Switch 2 and why it's might be a problem. All right, then July 17th news, we have more. Team Vanilla has won Splatfest that took place over the weekend. So if you participated in the Splatfest, that went from Friday to I think Sunday night is when they cut it off. It was an ice cream Splatfest. There were 3 teams to choose when playing Splatoon 3. You could choose the Team Vanilla, you could choose Team Strawberry Ice Cream, or Team Mint Chip Ice Cream. And I believe that Vanilla was the most popular team, which is the team that I chose as well. I've always been a vanilla guy. Like, I'm no strawberry, I'm no mint chip, I'm not even a chocolate guy. I would go to the ice cream shop, just plain vanilla. Not even a sprinkle. Not even a gummy worm. So that's how I've always been. That's who I chose to ride with during the Splatfest, and that's who won. I honestly thought that would be the case, but I wasn't for sure. I played it a bit on Saturday, and I will say, Team Strawberry was like really, really good. Like I was getting like, what's the word? Demolished by Team Strawberry. Mint Chip was pretty They were not on their A game Saturday night. But I will say, or it was Friday night. Mint Chip, step it up because you were not doing great. You weren't. No offense if you were on Mint Chip and you were playing Saturday. I'm sure that we didn't play each other. Maybe you are very, very great. Whoever I played sucked. Anyways, Team Vanilla, congrats to you, my friends. Can I pitch one idea for Splatoon? Ever since day one of a Splatfest on Splatoon Wii U, I've always wanted to keep my Splatfest t-shirt. Why can't you do that? Now, I understand if you let people do that, they might, impersonate a previous team in a different Splatfest. Just lock it while a Splatfest is going on. Like, if I keep my Team Vanilla shirt and I want to wear it during the next Splatfest, which is totally different, just don't let me wear it. Like lock it for 2 days or whatever. But keep it as a cool souvenir. It's the weirdest thing to me. I don't even understand. Then, guys, more general Nintendo Switch news. But I know that a lot of you are fans of this game that I'm about to talk about. There is an update coming for this game, and you might be hyped, okay? Stardew Valley. Who has heard of that game name? Raise your hand, class. Raise your hand. Who has heard of Stardew Valley? Maybe you even have it. Stardew Valley is getting an update, and people are so happy, filled with joy. It's great. So, Concerned Ape, the developers, have a very, very simple tweet that they have put out. They put it out July 17th, and they said, coming in Stardew Valley 1.6, new festival, new items, more dialogues, secrets, and question mark, question mark, question mark. That is the tweet. That's the tweet. No release date, no more specific info. That is it right there. So I will say, I wish we had more details, but a Stardew update is a Stardew update, and a man like me is a happy camper when I hear something like that. So I'm excited. Stardew fans were in for a treat. I went through a big Stardew Valley phase where I was like playing it nonstop every single day. Boom, 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 Stardew. And then I fell out of it. Maybe this can pull me back in. Concerned Dave might have me wrapped around their little finger. All right, a few more pieces of news. Guys, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet players. If you listen to the podcast, whenever there's a free code to give out that'll unlock you things in the game, we always give it out. Now, is there a code this week? Unfortunately not. I apologize if I made it sound like that there would be. I say that because there's other news that you might be excited about. There is a Rillaboom Tera raid announced for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Now, what is a Tera raid? For a quick refresher, a Tera raid is when you and four trainers in total are battling a very, very strong Pokemon. So this Pokemon being Rillaboom, he's going to be, or he or she is going to be, the very strong Pokemon you are all battling. Now, this is a 7-star Tera raid, which is very, 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 very difficult. If you are a beginner, I would advise you to stay away. So, you can actually participate in the Tera raid on July 28th to July 30th, and then again on August 4th to August 6th. And do you know what's actually crazy? August 4th is very, very close. Like, that's after July. And once you're in August, like, it just feels crazy. Like, that's the 8th month of the year. I feel like we just jumped into 2023. I don't understand, but that's so soon. Anyways, if you are a fan of Tera raids, that is coming to the game. In-game event, live event. Check it out with the link in the description. I'll leave more info down there. And there you go. Rillaboom is no match for you, trainer. Go catch them all, okay? Catch them all. Then, guys, this is not a July 17th piece of news, but more so news that I must say, because I will not talk to you before I can report this news. So, guys, we have Switch maintenance coming up on July 24th / July 25th, depending on what your time zone is. So, there are 5 services that'll be under maintenance at the exact same time. So, you may be limited. You know, I'm not sure if all these features will be like shut down, but maybe they'll be limited in terms of what you can do, and I'll go into depth there. So, here are the 5 services that will have maintenance on July 24th / July 25th. Switch parental controls, the Switch Online app, which is like one category. Number 2 is Switch distribution of update data. 3, Switch 3DS and Wii U eShops. Not sure why 3DS and Wii U eShops, you know, those are down anyway. But Switch eShop, Switch purchase and use of consumable items, and Switch use of downloadable software, certain network services. So, that's 5 things that'll be either limited or totally shut down. This maintenance takes place July 24th at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time to 11:30 p.m. Pacific time. So, it is 2 hours of maintenance. If you're on the East Coast, that is July 25th at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which is why it's July 24th / 25th to 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time, July 25th. Do the conversion for your time zone. That is Pacific Time, and that is Eastern Time there. So, if all that's shut down, I mean, it sucks, but at the same time, you're probably not going to use your Switch during those times, because even like if you're in the UK, that's 5:30 to 7:30. Like, you're probably not going to use your Switch right then. Australia might have it a bit rougher. Wait, hold on. Is Australia? I'm losing it here. Is Australia awake at that point? I think Australia might have it rough. I don't know. But either way, someone in the world is going to have it a bit rough during that time. But it'll be done in 2 hours, so no need to worry. Anyways, that is it for our headline segment. That is that. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the game releasing this Friday. Pikmin 4. Pre-order bonuses that were just now revealed. Extra merch. New announcements. So much Pikmin 4 news. Let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. Pikmen, Pikwoman. Let's all gather around. This is your time. I'm not going to say my time, because I just got into the Pikmin series not too long ago. For those who have been waiting 10 years since Pikmin 3, I salute you. This is your time to shine. Pikmin 4 comes out Friday. It's time. It's been 10 years. Pikmen, Pikwoman, I have very, very nice news for you. We have 5 pieces of news here, all Pikmin related. This will be very similar to the headline segment, but it's all Pikmin. Let's start with my Pikmen and Pikwomen from the UK. Then we'll move on to everything else is worldwide. Actually, no, there's 2 US things, but apart from that, it's all cool stuff. So even listen to this UK stuff. Actually, maybe don't, because if you're in the US, you'll feel like you're missing out. Either way, guys, Nintendo UK is now having Pikmin VASES available now. You can buy a red, yellow, or blue Pikmin vase to put like flowers in. I'm not kidding. That's the coolest thing. Why is that a UK exclusive thing? I'm not saying that America needs it. I'm saying that we all need a Pikmin vase in our life, okay? And yeah, you can import it the same way that you can get the deep cut plush from Japan. But this is too cool not to put out worldwide. Even at if you put these at Nintendo NYC, these will sell like hotcakes. Anyways, how much do these vases cost? So if you want to buy all of them, you can buy them for £54, which would be $70 in US dollars, which I will say is quite expensive. That is very expensive. But that's 3 Pikmin vases, and they're all very cool. I mean, if I was a Pikman, I would do it too. Or you can buy it individually. So if I just want to buy the red one or the yellow one or even the blue one, I can pay £18 each, which would equal out to $24 in US dollars. So once again, a little bit pricey, but at the same time, very, very cool. I think that's one of the coolest pieces of merch in a while. Then we've got Pikmin 4 for our friends in the US who have a Target near them, or if you're not in the US, there's a Target there. There's a Target here. If you're going to the US and you stop by a Target, whatever you need to do at Target, I don't see anything about a pre-order. If you just purchase Pikmin 4, I assume on the release date, you will receive a free keychain while supplies last. Now, what does this keychain look like? Is it really worth it? Is it actually good? Should I buy from Target? Well, I will tell you this, my friend. I'll tell you this. Target is giving out this keychain, and it has Ochi on it. It has red, yellow, and blue Pikmin on it. And that sounds very, very basic. It's like, well, why would you buy that? That is basic, Why wouldn't you go to GameStop or Walmart or Best Buy and get a cooler pre-order bonus? I think this keychain is sick. I think it's really, really cool. I had the image on the screen, but audio listeners, seek this out. This is very cool. I think maybe it is a bit cooler than the GameStop pins. Keychains are sick. You can use them on your backpack, which you might use every single day. You can use them where do you use them? You can use them. You can like hook them on to like a little hook on the wall. You can hang it that way. There's so many uses for keychains as opposed to pins, I would argue. You can put pins on a cork board. That's pretty cool. But I would argue you would use a keychain a little bit more. School, vacation, backpack, whatever it may be. It's sick. So, if you buy Pikmin 4 at Target, I would assume that your best shot is on the release date. You will get a keychain, once again, while supplies last. So if you get there and they're all out, I told you, while supplies last. So get there early if you do want the keychain. And then, guys, guess what? MyNintendo is hosting a Pikmin Piknik sweepstakes. It is active now. Now, a sweepstakes is another word for a giveaway, stuff like that. And I like how they titled it Pikmin Piknik, but they spelled Piknik, Piknik. So, like, if you were spelling picnic, Pikmin, it's like spelled the same way. Anyways, that's cool. Now, what do you get if you win the sweepstakes or the giveaway? Well, you get a hand-woven basket tote with leatherette straps. So a very, very high quality basket. A 60-inch by 50-inch Pikmin Piknik blanket with a carrying bag. And finally, a Pikmin serving tray. So, as the title does kind of describe, a picnic set. Now, how do you enter in this sweepstakes, raffle, giveaway kind of thing? If you go on MyNintendo, I believe it is an American thing, though I wouldn't doubt them having it on Nintendo UK. I have already entered in the sweepstakes. I always do because it's very, very cheap. You can go on the MyNintendo site, and you can enter up to 3 times, and each entry costs 10 platinum points. So, if I want to spend 30 platinum points, I can enter in 3 times and have 3 chances to win. Or, if I don't really want to gamble, I can just enter 1 time and have 1 chance to win for 10 platinum points. It's very cheap. I just did 3 because, if I get lucky, it'll be a very, very, very cool thing. So, I did 3 times. You do as many as you want. The chances are very, very unlikely, but certainly possible. Somebody has to win. Why not it be you, All right. A few more pieces of news here. Pikmin 4 has a day 1 update releasing when the game releases. What is this update going to do? What could it possibly do? Well, it might change things like online features and stuff, but for right now, all we know is various issues have been addressed to improve the gameplay experience. That is all we know. Once again, when you see that kind of stuff, it's just things that you wouldn't want to read, like, we made the online servers active. We made it strong. We made it so that you won't disconnect. It's stuff like that. So there's that. Maybe some bug fixes that they found, last second. And they're boxing up Pikmin 4 in their warehouse, and there was some guy testing it, and he was like, "Wait, I found one mistake." And they're all boxing up the game cartridge, and they're like, oh gosh, it's way too late for that. So now they have to put out a day 1 patch, That's how it goes. And then, if you want that water bottle pre-order bonus from Walmart, but you're like, I don't really feel like going to Walmart, but you're also in New York City, which are some pretty rare circumstances. You don't want to go to Walmart, and you're also in New York. It's sick. If you stop by the Nintendo New York store and buy a copy of Pikmin 4 while supplies last, you can get the exact same water bottle that Walmart is offering as a pre-order bonus when you buy Pikmin 4 at the New York store. It's sick. They're offering the exact same one. So if you are around there, if you're in the area, I would say even like if you're an hour away at the most, I would go down there. It's a cool experience, cool store to go to. I assume if you're an hour away, you've been there before. And I mean, why buy Pikmin 4 anywhere else? You know, ditch the 5-minute GameStop right next to you. Go to the New York store 1 hour away. Yeah, do that. No, but seriously, it's great fun. And I don't know when you would ever use a Pikmin 4 water bottle, as I'm sure if you have a water bottle, you have a water bottle and you need, you know, when you need water, you've got yourself covered. I just don't see this one getting used. But it's out there, and it's one of the better pre-order bonuses in some time. When you look at games like Splatoon 3, Tears of the Kingdom, this is one of the better, I guess, more usable pre-order bonuses. So there's that, and there's all of the final Pikmin news before the game actually releases on July 21st. It is time, Pikmin and Pick women, stand up and be proud. Enjoy the game this Friday. That is my last 2 cents on the game. I hope that you enjoy. I'm going to be playing it this weekend, and I'll come back on here, and I will not spoil it for you, but I'll tell you how I am liking it. Once again, spoiler free. Anyways, guys, let's talk on this next segment. Nintendo Switch 2. What about it? I'll tell you. Guys, let's talk about something very interesting here, okay? I really want to talk about this because I feel like as the days go by, what I'm going to discuss with you is becoming more and more and more of a reality, and that is the Nintendo Switch 2. I just want to have an open conversation with you here. What is going on? Okay, we see through this Microsoft FTC court case that the Switch 2 is becoming a thing. Like, they keep hinting at it, okay? They keep hinting. You keep seeing these documents pop up. Switch 2 is coming out. You know, new Switch in development. There's all these rumors online. Guys, what if Nintendo puts out a Switch 2? Here's what I've been seeing online. I've been seeing people saying this is how they end up back in a Wii U situation. When you try to follow up your console, and it is so similar that it's not, you know, gonna sell well. Okay? You look at the Wii to the Wii U, the Wii, phenomenal console, and it sold very well too. The Wii had sold well over 100 million copies, units per se. The Wii U, which is very similar, you know, you would think if you replicate what did well, it would do well again. The Wii U, very, very similar. Despite the poor marketing, sold about 10% of what the Wii did. So that's interesting. You would think, you know, let's say if I had a banger YouTube video and I made a part 2 to it, you would think that part 2 does pretty good. But between consoles, it doesn't work this way. If you did it with a game, you know, let's say the first Mario Kart was a great success. You do a second one, you would think it's a great success. It doesn't work like that with consoles. It's one of the very few things that you cannot make a sequel to. There has never been a time in Nintendo history, and I say it all the time, so I apologize to those who are sick of me saying this. Sequels to systems don't do well. They never do. So what does Nintendo think a Switch 2 is going to do? It would be the first time in Nintendo history that a sequel to a console, as in NES to SNES, Game Boy to Game Boy Advance, like sequels like Wii to Wii U, DS to 3DS, it would be the first time that the sequel to a console sells better than the original, should a Switch 2 be released and sell better than the current Switch. It would be the first time ever. And you see Nintendo having absolutely no idea what to do. There were rumors that came out saying that the power of the next system will be the same power of an Xbox One and PS4, which is a generation behind. You see them say things like, we're in unknown territory. We don't want to be in a Wii U situation. That's not, you know, verbatim. That's not exactly what they said. But they said something like, we're in unknown territory. And I think I should have worked at Nintendo. Now, am I qualified? Of course not. But you would think if one of the analytical guys could go back and look at the numbers and the sales of their previous systems, you would know that sequels to consoles don't do better than the original. What makes you want to make a Switch 2? And it's even harder with the Switch 2. Because okay, close your eyes. If you're driving, please don't. But if you're just like chilling, close your eyes. Picture a Switch 2 for me. I hope that you're actually doing this. Unless you are driving or you're busy. Picture a Switch 2. How different does it look from the original Switch? Does it look like a Switch Pro? If your answer to that is yes, we have a problem. Whatever comes next cannot look like a Switch Pro. Let's look at the best-selling consoles for Nintendo. Consoles/systems. DS, Wii, Switch. These are all different things. Notice how I didn't say Wii, Wii U, DS, and 3DS. No, only one of its kind is going to do crazy numbers for you. Only one. Now, Nintendo has found somewhat of success when following up their consoles like Game Boy to Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance, was pretty good. The DS to 3DS. 3DS didn't, I don't even think, no, 3DS didn't even get half the sales that the DS did, but it was a decent success. It sold 70 million or so. That's very, very good. But if you're Nintendo, you're stupid not to make something brand new. Now, it can be a hybrid console, but it's not called Switch. It has way more power, and it can have Xbox One and PS4 power. But you're not calling this the Switch. You're not. Once again, you can bank off names. You can go Mario Kart 1, Mario Kart 2, Mario Kart 3, and it'll still sell well because they're brand new things. Mario Kart 1 is different than Mario Kart 2. But if you have Switch 1, which we have right now, and then you make Switch 2, because it's a console and it's a similar concept, it'll look similar and lead people to believe, well, I have Switch 1, that's probably good enough, right? You're going to be in a Wii U situation. What do? If you're Nintendo, once again, you can make a hybrid console, because once you have a hybrid console, it's pretty hard to go back to just having a home console, or having a home console and handheld console, or even worse, just a handheld console, which has never really happened. But, you can't go back from a hybrid console. It can be a hybrid, but it can't look like a Switch. It just can't. That's a bad move. That's a really, really bad move. And I'm sure that they're working on it. And I would give them all the time in the world that they need to work up a brand new system for us. I would wait until 2026. It has to be released then. And maybe it will be released then. If you're asking me, I'm saying no later than 2025 is when it'll release, but I will wait until 26 if the system is perfect. I will wait. And also, while we're on the topic, where did all the charm go? Look at the Wii U and 3DS. It's a bundle of joy to turn on. With the Switch, I'm not saying that it's bad. The home menu's cool. But it's it's not a grin on your face. You open up a 3DS, 2DS XL, whatever it may be. You open it up, starts playing music. You see all the cool custom apps. There's characters, there's themes. On the Switch, you turn it on, and there's just a blank screen, all your games. Some sound effects, pretty cool. But that's it. Where'd the charm go? I think that's what made a lot of people, I guess, I wouldn't say like Nintendo more, because they would like them either way, as you can see with the Switch, they're still being liked, obviously, but it's kind of that DS charm factor, where there's a nostalgic home menu theme, and there's, I guess, more appealing sound effects. You have a whole camera on the system, which allows for funny photos and funny memories to look back on. Also, with the handheld console, you're taking it everywhere. You want to be able to snap photos. If that's some 5-year-old's only camera, doesn't have an iPad yet, but he has a Switch, snap, memories. It just allows people to connect more with with their childhood once they grow up. Like, I look at my DSi photos all the time. It's great. Perfect memories. Where'd the spark go? But more importantly, you don't make a Switch 2. If they come out and they announce a Switch 2, people are going to roll their eyes. If it's a true Switch 2. If it's a Switch, whatever the next name might be, a Nintendo Neo, like whatever it may be next, if it's brand new, but a hybrid console, sick. But if it's a Switch 2, it's going to be like the same reaction as the Wii U. Like, cool, but I need to know more. How is it different? And maybe it'll be different. But you name this the Switch 2, the NX2, you're just digging a grave. And maybe this is me at 2 a.m. just being like, just ripping in to Nintendo. But I hope you can kind of get what I'm saying. This is a terrible idea. You don't make a Switch 2. I guarantee you, I will stand here on my word right now. Clip me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. But I will confidently say, if there is a Switch 2, I mean, it's called Switch 2. There could be a new hybrid console. If it is titled Nintendo Switch U, or it has Switch in the name, I guarantee you, if it has Switch in there, it does not sell more than 3/4 of whatever the Switch sells. I guarantee you. If it has Switch in the name. I guarantee it. So you can't do that. Therefore, you need a brand new console. A Switch 2, if that is really, if that's what's happening, you're digging a grave. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say about the Switch 2. I've seen so many rumors about, Switch 2 is actually happening. NX2 is a real thing. If you're calling it the NX2, the Switch 2, people are going to roll their eyes. It'll be exciting for a minute because it's brand new. It's brand new hardware. It's a brand new system. We've waited for this. But when you look at what we could have had, you won't like it. Like PS4 and PS5, obviously a very, very similar name. But the difference is, it's built such a reputation for being a brand new console each time. Look at DS to 3DS. They're similar. They look similar. They play the same games, which you can make the argument for, those are backwards compatible consoles too, like PS5 and PS4. But it's much harder to explain, but for sure when it's a brand new console. When they announce a 3DS compared to a DS, casuals might be like, is that even brand new? But when you change the number, PS4, PS5, like something about it feels more brand new than NES to SNES. It's like a Super NES, maybe it's the Pro version. If it's a Pro version with a PS5 or an Xbox, you will know. PS4 Pro, PS4 Slim. That's like Switch Lite and Switch OLED. Like, you will know if it's the exact same thing. But I don't want them going around calling it Switch 2. Because even though it has the 2 in there, you would think, yeah, it's the same effect that the PS5 and Xbox have when they go up a number, Xbox One to Xbox Series. It's a brand new thing. I don't think that it has that effect, and historically, it never has had that effect. Using the same name of a console. DS, 3DS, NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, never really worked. So, I would not call it the Switch 2, and Nintendo really needs to think this through. I can't wait until something gets revealed, something gets announced. We gotta see, though. I'm hoping for something revealed next year, and it better be brand stinking new. If not, I'll buy it. But that's their loss if they can't make it sell better. So, there's that. But now let's get to your favorite segment of the week. It is time to answer your questions on the podcast. Let's go. Alright guys, it is time to answer your questions. You guys have asked me questions to answer on your favorite Nintendo news podcast. We have 20 questions, 12 from YouTube and 8 from Discord. Normally it's 10 and 10. But there are more interesting ones on YouTube than there were Discord. So if you want to ask me a question on the podcast, I always put out a community post on Sundays If you go to my YouTube channel and then go to the community tab, you will see every Sunday there's a post saying, "Hey, hope you're doing well. Ask me a question here." And if you become a channel member, which means that you monetarily support the channel for as low as $1.99, you can ask a priority question, which means you guaranteed get your question answered, and I do it first thing. So we do have one member question. And also, if you want, feel free to join the Discord server in the description and ask me that way. Here we go. Here's one channel member question first from Lego Fox. They ask, you're stranded on an island and you only have one game. What is that game? P.S. The island does not have internet. Okay, so one game, I'd probably pick my favorite game of all time because sometimes you can't say that because it's a game that has a story. Like, for example, if your answer was Mario Galaxy, you might not say that because, like, you can only play it so many times. But my favorite game is endless, and that game is Animal Crossing New Leaf. I would take that to the island with me, play it every single day. I would never get tired of it. It's my favorite. It's endless. There's things to do every single day, different interactions every single day, different activities every single day. It's so nice, and it would be the perfect game to go the rest of your life with. Then we have the next question. What is that? Super Pujol's Brothers asks, for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, do you think the other playable characters will be able to use the Ella fruit like Mario? If so, will it be a Tanuki leaf situation where when Mario gets the Tanuki leaf, he turns into a Tanuki, while Luigi turns into a Kitsune? I would say, yeah, I think they'll all turn into elephants. I think so. But you make a very, very good point about, how you compare it to the Tanuki leaf. I think they'll all be elephants. I think it'd be a bit strange if they were all different. Because in this game, you can play... No, sorry, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think they're all elephants. I think they will all be elephants. And I just don't see them being anything else. Like, I can imagine, you're playing a 4-player Mario Bros. Session. And I just can't see anyone not being an elephant if one person is. Like, imagine a group of 4 elephants. That sounds more normal than, like, one elephant, one ostrich, one flamingo. Like, it just sounds better. I'd probably say that they all turn into elephants. Yeah, I think they'll all be able to use the Ella fruits, but I think they just showed off Mario because he is the most iconic, and it would be a meme, and it would look funny. Then we have, I'm picking some hard usernames. Doi Haveto2695 asking, do you think we should get more themed consoles that don't include the games, like the Tears of the Kingdom one? Or more Switches that are normal, but include a game, like the 3-in-1 Mario Switch a few months ago? I would say the first one. Special edition consoles that do not include a game. I would say that. Because with the ones that include a game, it's like you can already buy that separately. It's like if you have a normal Switch, you can just buy whatever game it comes with. But with a special edition, like, you only get so many of those, and I think the more the merrier. The more they put out, the better it is for us. There's so many options as to which special edition you want. If they had one for Splatoon, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Bros. Wonder, like, it's a perfect wonderland. I'd say more special consoles. Unusualerness. This is a hard... I'm picking the hardest usernames. Unusualerness asks, do you think Nintendo may create a brand new series, a brand new IP, or do you think they'll wait until the next console? I think they tried it with ARMS, and that didn't go amazing. It's so decent, but it didn't go like amazing. I think that they'll try new IPs, obviously. Yeah, I'm saying next console. They tried ARMS. They tried a few things like 1-2 Switch. which I'm not sure would be like a forever IP, but they were trying things. I think they wait until the next console. It's a bit too late to try something new. It might not be too late, but it would have to release in the next year or so. After that, it'd be too late. And then they also ask, when do you think the next console will be announced? I'm saying release in 2025, announced in 2024. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's the proper timeline. Now, it could be 1 year later, announced in 25, release in 26. I wouldn't mind it if the system is perfect. But if they're making a Switch 2, it should be out by 25. That'd be 8 years since the Switch released. Then the man who monks 352 asks if any classic games from NES/SNES got a remake like Mario RPG did, what would you want that to be? Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I'd probably say, because I'm in need of one of these games, I'd probably say Punch-Out. Either one. Punch-Out for the NES, SNES, whatever you want it to be. I'd say a remake of Punch-Out. I need some sort of brand new Punch-Out game, and that would be perfect. Seriously perfect. Then we have Rex Sadie Toys asking, third time asking, what is your favorite short, podcast episode, and clip you've ever made? Okay, so favorite short, that's a rough one. It's like every time that I make a short, it's my favorite because I put my new editing skills into it. I put everything into it that I've learned, and so it becomes my favorite in that kind of sense. But if I had to pick one, that's so hard. I've made, over 1,000. It's hard to pick one. I would say I had a lot of fun making the one where I took the personality quiz. It's one of my most popular ones, actually. I had a lot of fun. If you go to my shorts and then hit most popular, it's the third one. Which Nintendo character am I most like? Where I took a personality quiz. That was a very, very fun one. Podcast episode. Let me scroll through right now. Podcast episode. This one's been very, very fun. I would probably say the ones where I was on vacation and did the podcast. So that was episode. That's episode. Is it 40? 39 and 38. Those are the two that I did remote, and those were so much fun. I love those ones. And then clip that I've ever made. So I assume on the clips channel. Favorite clip. Can I scroll through those two right now? Yeah, it's hard to say. For those, I would probably. I'm scrolling through. I'm hitting popular. I'm scrolling. Maybe this one. It's called The Kong Family in 2023, where I pretty much described the state of the Kong family. That's a good one. Go and watch that one. That one's fun. Blah Dude, where can I purchase my own copy of EmSwizzle's Chill Mix? So, for those confused, I made a short the other day where I was watching this legless, or no, it was like a legged toad that had real manly and hairy legs dancing around. I made a short which had that as a joke in the short, and it was on a DVD of mine called EmSwizzle's Chill Mix. So, I'm making a deal. I will sell that as real merch if I can get copyright permission from the owner. If not, then I'll have to recreate a very similar video. But if I can get, permission to sell that as merch, I would sell DVDs called EmSwizzle's Chill Mix with that Toad video on it. I seriously would. I would. Munch1298YT asks, will there ever be a Mrs. EmSwizzle? Oh, snap. That's a question. Not soon. Not soon. Hopefully one day. I don't want to be lonely forever, so I'm hoping one day, but right now I'm just too focused. You could have the perfect I don't know, kind of in the feels. You could have the perfect woman come up to me Let's date. I'd probably land on no. I'm just too focused right now. I don't want a relationship. I don't want one. I don't need one. I'm good. I have family to hang out with. I'm just straight right now. In terms of like, I'm good. I am straight though. So yeah, I'm good. Maybe in the future. Not right now though. Then Brody Zaid, 1893, asks, what are your thoughts on the Switch hacking scene? Yeah, that's a good one. I like modding consoles. I modded the Wii U, the Wii, the 3DS. It's great. Switch modding, I wouldn't do it right now. I would not do it right now because you can easily get banned as the service is still online. And if you do get banned, you can't get around that. And you, at that point, cannot play Mario Kart with your friends. You can't play anything with your friends. You cannot do anything online. So it's like, why would you risk that? Now, for your older consoles, I mean, I'd say go ahead. But, people have modded their Switch. And obviously, you won't get banned like right away. But if you are consistently risking being banned with having a hacked Switch. And also, I cannot encourage, piracy or anything. So, I certainly don't pirate games. But in terms of just modding in general, I would do it for nearly every system apart from the Switch. Do it for the Switch, but not right now, not while it's active. That's what I'd say. But yeah, just no piracy because that is, that's illegal. I can't encourage that. But yeah, it's all right. Just be careful. Epic Dragon 668. Do you think Nintendo will ever add themes to the Switch, or do you think they will wait for another console? I don't think that they'll add themes. I think if they were going to, apart from the white and black theme, it would have been years ago. And they're no stranger to adding, basic things years later. But I just really think because the demand for it kind of rose in the past few years, they would have put some out, but they haven't. I just think they have that setting just for the white and black theme, and that's it. Nothing else. I don't think they'll do themes for the Switch. I do think that they'll want to make an effort and try for the next console, assuming that it has more power. I think they'd want to try. Levi, what's a game you can play forever without getting sick of it? Animal Crossing. You know what? That's kind of a lie. I am sort of sick of Animal Crossing New Horizons right now. Can I just say Animal Crossing as a whole? Because when I'm sick of Animal Crossing New Horizons, I go play Animal Crossing New Leaf. When I'm sick of that, I go play Animal Crossing City Folk. When I'm sick of that, I don't play Wild World. I play GameCube. When I'm sick of that, is back to New Horizons. Can I say the entire Animal Crossing franchise? Because that's the true answer. There's no one game that I can play forever without getting sick. There's games that I can play for a while, but not forever, I would say. My answer is, I can't give a definitive one, but my answer is the Animal Crossing franchise. Then, Joel asks, what series do you think the next console will have for its launch day? That's a good one. I think Mario Kart 9. Because it's been over 10 years, or almost 10 years, sorry, since the last Mario Kart game, Mario Kart 8, was released on the Wii U. And you would certainly have a Mario Kart game in development. And because it's such a big series, I just think that's a banging game to have at launch. It would certainly drive in more sales and get people more excited. It's a brand new console and Mario Kart 9, it's a big thing. So I'd say probably Mario Kart 9 is what you do with the launch day of the next system. Then, last from YouTube, Toka Lizard. Has Nintendo had a glow up or a glow down going from Wii U plus 3DS to the Switch era? Glow down in terms of a company, glow up in terms of games. Their games have gotten better, but man, where's the charm? Where's the, Nintendo that does cool things like add themes to the Switch, add personality to the Switch? Mii's are slowly going away. In that term, in that effect, they've gone down. But in terms of games, they are doing pretty well. So up and down, but a lot of it's been down. I'd say there's a lot of down. Maybe a slightly more down than there is, slightly more up than there is down, I'd say. Dashabunga, starting with Discord questions here. Dashabunga, do you prefer 3D Mario or 2D Mario? Personally, I prefer 3D. Okay, so it's rough because they're very, very different. I'd probably give you, just a straight answer, I'd probably give you 3D Mario. I'd probably give you 3D Mario. I love Mario 3D World, Mario Odyssey, those kinds of games, Mario Galaxy. I think those are all great games, and I do have more, I guess, enjoyment with those than I do a game like Mario Bros. U, So I'd probably say 3D. That's kind of more enjoyable for me. Then, Nerd asks, why did you start showing your face in shorts? That's a good one. I've never been asked that. Mostly just so I don't seem like, I guess, this... What would you say? There's many reasons. One, to kind of get my face out there so that if I make long-form content, you will recognize the face. Two, I show it everywhere else. It's like, at that point, why wouldn't you show it in the shorts? Like, I showed it in my podcast. I showed it on live streams. It's like, why wouldn't you show it in shorts? And also, it kind of makes things a bit fresher. Like, going from my animated content to my new, face content, it's like nice and fresh. It's a new breath of fresh air. Kind of repackaging everything. And it's kind of more enjoyable for me because I can actually, hand talk and have facial expressions and not have to just sit here, closing my eyes, perfecting the voice, which is cool too. But I like kind of just being on camera. It's kind of fun, So I have many reasons. Those are a few, though. FMR Inc. is asking, how much hours on your most played game? So my most played game of all time is Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Switch, and I believe that I have about 2,250 hours on that game. Somebody who has me friended can double check, but I believe it is right in that range. 2,250. I used to stream that game almost every single day, played it for hours on end. I am not shocked. And when that game came out, I knew I'd have so many hours on it. It's a fantastic game, though. What can I say? The Rumor asks, if you could only have one handheld and one console for the rest of your life, what would they be and why? One handheld, one console. One console would be the Wii U, because it can play almost everything. And the one handheld would be a 3DS. And you might think that is one of the worst answers I've ever heard. Well, apart from them both being able to play essentially most of the entire library, like 3DS can play NES, SNES, it can play Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, the Wii U can play N64, GameCube if you mod it, all that. Apart from all that, I, one, have nostalgia with the games. Two, the games on Wii U and 3DS were also very, very great. And if you think that the Wii U games weren't great, why are half of them, or nearly all of them, on Switch? They're really, really good. They are good. And some are even better on Wii U. Not most of them, but like Pikmin 3 is a bit more interactive on the Wii U. You have something like Nintendo Land, which is not a Switch game. Nintendo Land is not Switch, but more interactive experiences. You have a better Mii Maker. You have just a very charming console, which for me as a casual gamer is something that I like. I like the charm of these consoles because I'm very casual. Casual in the sense of, Tomodachi Life, Animal Crossing, chill casual gamer. That's what I like a lot. Okay, Mario Gamer. Have you ever raged at any game? Honestly, I'm not the rage type. I don't ever throw controllers. I will say, I'll be playing a game, right here, and I'll throw a little fit. I'll but I mean, it doesn't look like it. I don't look like that, by the way. I just am reenacting. But I do get frustrated but I've never like raged like, oh my gosh, this game sucks. Throw the controller. Throw this. I've never done that, right? I've never had that happen to me before. So, no, I have not really raged, but I do get a bit close. Also, what is the best Mario Kart game? My favorite is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's a very, very basic answer. I just think it's the biggest, the baddest, and the best Mario Kart game that, they have to offer right now. Even if you go back to, Mario Kart Wii, that's a lot of people's favorites because of nostalgia. And also, it's a great game, in general. It's not all nostalgia. There's some of that with Mario Kart Double Dash. But it's like, I am looking at the quality here. I'm not looking at nostalgia because I don't have much nostalgia with Mario Kart games. I'm looking at the games. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, not even graphically, just like as a game, all the tracks in it, all the characters, it's just the best one. And obviously it would be because it's the newest one. So, yeah, I'm saying Mario Kart 8. But I do still love Mario Kart Wii. I still do love Mario Kart Double Dash. They're great games, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is my answer. CS1640 asks, what's your favorite Pikmin type? Favorite Pikmin type is yellow or blue, but I also really, really like rock and also ice. So you asked me for one Pikmin type, I gave you 4. If I had to pick one, it's probably going to be blue. Probably blue. 6 more reasons. 143 asking, what is your favorite Animal Crossing villager and why? My favorite Animal Crossing villager is Fret, who is a green dog. He was added with the Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0 update, although he was a villager in the GameCube version of Animal Crossing. But he has returned. He's my favorite. He is just, if you look at his facial expression, like, dude, there is not a thought in his mind. If you look at that guy, he just sits here like, he's just smiling, arms crossed. He's the coolest little guy. I shouldn't say little guy. He's a cranky personality type. So he kind of has like old man dialogue. And I just love every small thing about him. I want to get a custom plush of him one day. Like, there's sites that'll make custom plushies. I want a custom Fret plush. It'd be amazing. And then finally, final question. Simba, Wii U console, 3DS games, or Switch games? I assume you mean like pick one? So I can pick the Wii U console. I assume that it has games with it, right? Okay, pick one. Wii U console, 3DS games, or Switch games. Which one is the best? It's rough. I'd probably say Switch games, because even though my favorite game of all time is on 3DS, and my favorite console is the Wii U, the Switch games, there's so many, and I have Animal Crossing on there. I have great stuff in terms of Switch games. I'd be more than happy to live off of Switch games forever. And that is it for the Mario Matter episode number 47. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and give us a good rating on the way out on Spotify, iTunes, whatever it may be. We really, really do appreciate it, and it helps us out so much. If you even leave a like on YouTube, it helps us get the podcast to every single Nintendo fan ever existed. Like, every single one. I'm just kidding. But thank you all so much. Shout out to our channel members for monetarily supporting the channel and getting amazing perks like special podcast episodes. I do a special podcast every single week. It's either a podcast or a live stream. We do that. We hang out and we talk about non-news related topics, and it's so much fun. If you want to become a member, there's either a join button next to my channel name if you're on PC, or there's a link in the description to make all your problems easier. With that, I love you all. See you all on Mario Matter episode 48. See you then. I love you all. Once again, I'll say it again. I love you all. Adios.